But I'm thinking about it. Everybody got locked down. I mean, like I said, all those people, and you couldn't go anywhere. But who didn't get locked down? There's two things that didn't get locked down: big box stores.
Correct.
Centralized food didn't get locked down.
Correct.
You couldn't go to church, you couldn't go to school, you couldn't go to a concert, but you could go to the world's largest retailer and walk around in close proximity to all kinds of people.
Certain protests were allowed.
Certain protests were allowed. But mom and pop got shut down.
Right.
That mom and pop store got shut down.
Yeah.
Think
about that for just a moment.
The little guys got shut down. So why? Centralized food supply. Food supply chain that is so huge.
Right.
Well, they let that go and in fact encourage that.
Right.
But lock down mom and pop. Put mom and pop out of business in a lot of cases.
That's correct.
But you want to know who else didn't get locked down? Farmers.
Farmers did not get locked down.
I mean, they might not have been able to left their farm.
Right.
But they still had food.
Good point.
They still had their stuff. They could still raise their cattle. They could still raise their crops. They still had food.
So what you're saying, bro, is that the people here, you, me, and Josh, we would not get locked down if we were gardening in our backyard. Is that your point?
That's kind of my point, that if you're growing your own food and you've got your food security in hand and you have broken free from the bonds of the global food supply chain,
right,
you are far less affected by this.
Yeah. The other thing that I'll point out here is that, in the beginning of this, we promised to show you ways that you could break that food supply chain, which we've done, by the way.
Yes.
However, I'm not promoting that you don't have to go buy certain things from the big box stores.
Right.
Not what we're saying, but what we are saying
is dependence.
That your full dependence, especially when it comes to food and your food supply.
Right. It's about breaking the dependent chain. You're not chained to it.
Right.
You have a resource for your food that is independent of that.
Right.
What are we really talking about here? And why do we talk about this? And it really boils down to freedom. So is someone really free, truly free, if they're reliant on something else, somebody else?
Right.
And that's what this attack is. It's about our loss of freedom. Our ultimate goal is to be as free as possible. Well, if you follow these steps that we're talking about, that's how you get there.
Right.
And we're fighting globalists for control and for freedom.
Right.
Most people just think, it's just about, where do you buy your food at and all that. And that's not what this is about.